Welcome to One Chemistry. Always try to do your best. Now, let us see about 100 conversion in organic chemistry. We are seeing it as episodes. This is the episode number 89. If you didn't watch previous episodes, I encourage you to go and see. Here, we solve 5 problems step by step. Stay tuned. Let us see the question number 1. The starting metal contained a 5-member and 6-member ring which is fused. In the fused carbon you have epoxide and you have hydrogen which is attached with tosylate. They are using the base. They ask you to find the product. The product can be long chain alkyne with ketone or simple alcohol or simple alkenol or just a ketone there. So from the reactant to product, if you compare, the ring opening definitely occur. The fate of epoxide is the real question. The answer is A. Let us see how. Here you are using the tosyl hydrogen in the system and base. So technically it's called sapphire elimination. Basically it's alkene formation. The whole thing is driven by base subtraction and tosylate elimination. What really happens is the acidic proton is removed, anion is formed. The anion is formed, it has to be quenched. So the anion travels, continuously traveling. While during the anion movement, the epoxide is a strained system. It's also open. So the N double bond is formed, alkene is formed, and you have epoxide opening. So the negative charge finally travel to the oxygen. It has to be quenched. So how it will be quenched? Again the oxygen converted into ketone and the charge travel to alkene converted into alkyne because N2 and TS are very good leaving group. So you have alkyne there. If you redraw nicely, you have the product A. It's a 9-member system, ketone and alkyne in it. Here you have to learn two important things. One is sapphire elimination. If you have hydrogen with tosyl substitution, you might think of sapphire elimination. Final product will be alkene. Second thing is if you have charge formation near the strained system, definitely you think of the ring opening. Then the question number 2, starting metal you have benzene attached with cyclobutane. Then you are using the alkyne which is attached with COMe. You are heating and DDQ you are using. They ask you to find the product. The product can be the aromatic which is attached with ester there, or it can be simple ring opening, or the position of alkene, or D product is complete ring opening. Here from the reaction to product you might understand that ring expansion definitely occur. Whether the aromaticity established or not is the real question. The answer is A. Let us see how. The starting metal you have benzene and you have cyclobutane. Cyclobutane is a strained system. Since you are using heat, ring will be open. You have XO double bonds are there. Then you are using alkyne. Hence 4 plus 2 cycloaddition is possible. So alkyne and 2 dienes combined, you have 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. Then you have new 6-member ring formation due to the 4 plus 2 cycloaddition. So you have COMe along with alkene. Then the next step you are using DDQ. DDQ means dichlorodicyanobenzoquinone. It's an oxidizing agent. So what really doing in this system is, it is an oxidizing agent. What really doing is aromatization. Aromaticity established in the system. Here you have to learn two important things. One is the strain induced reaction. If you have strain, what really happens is it will be opened by small trigger. Normally it can be heat or light. Then next thing is DDQ. DDQ is an oxidizing agent known for many properties and many uses. Here it is used for inducing aromaticity. Then the question number 3. The starting metal you have cyclohexane attached with alcohol and ester. Both are in the trans position. You are using the base. They ask you to find the product. The products are mostly what happened to the ester and alcohol there. How is the reaction between them? Whether the ring is closed as a lactone or the cis-lactone or trans-lactone, or cyclohexane stayed with trans-lactone, or simple alcohol formation by heating, or it's a simple formic ester. So the reaction is definitely about stereochemistry. So the competition between the position of the groups and the reaction is important. The answer is A. Let us see how. The starting metal you are using the base. So base subtract the proton wherever it is acidic in nature. So OH proton is subtracted and the alpha proton is subtracted. So you have the dianion there. So what really happens is dianion can form as an enolate. Here the important thing will happen. Enolate makes the axial and equatorial bond weak. So it becomes a simple weak bond. So the equatorial bond get into axial position. It can be easy because the double bond is sp2 hybridized. Tetrahedral is sp3 hybridized. So axial equatorial difference become vanished there. You can write it in any way. So it get into again axial. So it is easy for lactone formation. Again the distance between both are high. So what really happens is chair form converted into boat form. This is very important because unusual form stabilized by lactone formation. So the answer is clearly A. Here you have to learn two important things. One is if you have inlet formation, the axial equatorial difference is vanished. Second thing is for lactone formation, ring can close and convert it into boat form. Then the question number 4. The starting metal you have conjugated ketone and you have side chain. Side chain contain alkene. This is isopropene group. And you are using the sulfoxy halide, sulfur with oxygen and the carbanion in the methylene carbon. So you have cation anion stabilized there. So it's called halide. Simply you are heating. So the reagent can supply methyl group for where the methylation will be happened there. Whether it is on carbonyl bond or alkene bond which is in conjugation or isolated alkene. So the answers are the same suggestion. The A is methylation on ketone, B is just oxygen absorption, C is methylation on conjugation, D is on isolated double bond. The whole question is E-like regioselectivity on the double bond. The answer is C. Let us see how. Starting metal you have and you are attacking with conjugated ketone. Here the polarity is important. Since you are using charged species, polar carbon will be attacked. When compared to conjugated ketone, alkene is less polar, so conjugated ketone will be attacked. Here, normally thermodynamic addition is 1,4 addition, which is Michael addition. So 1,4 addition occurs there, the anion formed in the tertiary carbon. So anion is formed, it is very much unstable. The charge has to be quenched there. So how it can be quenched? It will be quenched by cyclopropane formation. How it is possible? Because dimethyl sulfoxide is a very good leaving group. It leaves as a very neutral compound. So charges all will be quenched. You have selective methylene carbon. Here you have learned very important thing. The sulfoxy halide is specific for methylation of conjugated ketone. Only the double bond in the conjugation get methylated. Here you have to learn two important things. One is the stability of anion. Here the anion formed at tertiary carbon very much unstable. It always try to quench there. So the quenching is possible by formation of 3-member ring. Second thing is leaving group. If the leaving group is creating the neutrality in the system, definitely it's a very good leaving group. Like azide leaves the nitrogen. Here dimethyl sulfoxide is a very good leaving group which initiate the methylene formation. Then the question number 5. The starting metal you have phthalimide. You have ketone and amine which is in the amide form and you are attaching with benzyl group. You are using the hydrazine. They ask you to find the product. The A product is 2 6-member ring formation. B product is a diamide formation. C and D product is ring substitution. How the NH to NH react with the system is important. So from the question 2 product you might realize where is the reaction center, where the amine will react in the system, whether on the phenyl, whether on the amine or in the attached phenyl. The answer is A. Let us see how. The starting metal you have ketone, you are using the hydrazine. The reaction is called Cabriel synthesis or Cabriel phthalimide synthesis. The starting metal you have carbonyl group and you are using hydrazine. So hydrazine can attack on carbonyl group. So carbonyl group ring will be open. You have O- charge. The charge has to be quenched there. So the charge can be quenched by ring opening. So ring is open. Again you have the possibility of intracondensation because NH2 can attack the carbonyl and the possibility of good leaving group is the benzylamine. So NH2 attack. But which NH2 will attack here? The more basic NH2 will attack here, because the NH near the CO will be less electron density, because CO is the electron withdrawing group. The second N attacks, you have new 6-member ring formation. It's very much unusual. You have 6-member ring formation. Then you have the benzyl in the side chain. So the ketone has to be conjugate there, because the charge is generated on oxygen O minus. So O minus try to conjugate by removing the benzylamine. So benzylamine is the main product. Always people are focusing on benzylamine, but another product is very curious. Why it is special? Because unusual product. N is acquired from the ring. You are getting N from the ring. Another one is unusual ring formation, because it contains NN in the 6-member ring. So the answer is clearly A. Here you have to learn two important things. One is basicity. Basicity decides the nucleophilic attack. Here free amine is a very good nucleophile. It attacks the carbonyl. Second thing is charge quenching. The charge quenching always will be achieved by removing of the group. Here it is the amine. That's why it's specially called Cabriel synthesis. That's all from this episode. I hope it was easy. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestion, comment below. Stay tuned for next episode.